Shalawam, I'm your brother Rawchaa from the branch of GMS, South Carolina Midlands. And before we start off, all praise, honor, and glory belongs to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham HaQadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. And Shalawam unto you hopeful elect, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you I say Shalawam. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 50 and 15. It says, "And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me." All right. And we know that we're coming into the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. The worst time in history known to man. All right. A lot of calamities, a lot of judgment, a lot of deletion is going to be going on. All right. Persecution. All right. From the devil. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right, upon the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans of today, all right. Persecution is coming upon the Lord's people, all right, as a reason, Revelation 12 and 12, rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, Diablos, all right, the false accuser, the slanderer, which is Esau, Edom, is coming down, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right, this devil knows that his kingdom is up. Okay, and this devil is about to come, with that heavy persecution. As we all know, we got to go through much tribulation. Acts, chapter 14 and 22, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must, through much tribulation, into the kingdom of the Most High, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay, so you see, we got to go through it, what this devil is about to come with, all right, in order for us to get to our kingdom, which is the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Yahawashi. All right, but nonetheless, we are to call upon Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, when we face this persecution. All right, just meditating upon Revelation 2 and 10, and this is going to be a quick lesson, man, through the Spirit. Just wanted to put this out there to exhort any hopeful elect, any believer out there, who needs to hear this. Revelation 2 and 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. So the Lord let us know that we're going to suffer, man. All right, remember the Lord Yahawashi told us that the servant is not greater than his master. Look at what Yahawashi had to face. All right, hatred, backlash, not only from his people, but of course from these devils, the Romans back then, these Edomites. All right, and of course, our people gave them over to the Romans to what? To be crucified. Okay, we know that, hey, we got to go through the persecution. We got to go through the hell as well. Okay. But the Lord told us to fear none of those things. All right. And why is that so? Because Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is with us. All right. And we know that there's a reward at the end of this. Okay. It says, behold the devil. That's Diablos again. All right. Same in Revelation 12 and 12. Okay. The devil, which is Esau, Edom, the false accuser, the slanderer, the deceiver. Okay. Shall cast some of you into prison. All right. And these are those concentration camps, these torture camps that this devil got set up. All right, for not bowing the knee to the his beast system, all right, and taking his charagma. Okay, and it says that and the charagma is the RFID micro C-hip, which we've been instructed through the Spirit not to take, lest you be destroyed, according to Revelation 14:9 and 10, by fire and brimstone, all right, which is the thermonuclear fire and the concentrated fire from the chariots, all right, so-called UFOs when the Lord returns with the heavenly hosts. All right, it says that ye may be tried. So we're going to be tried. Our faith is going to be tested. The trial of our faith, 1 Peter 4 and 12. Okay, and it says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which is a complete number of days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So there's a reward. Okay, even if we have to be martyrs, yes, witnesses unto Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, we hold the testimony of Yahawashi, right? All right, we prophesying is not in vain. Okay, the Lord is going to give us a crown of life if we be faithful. All right, we remain steadfast in His truth. It says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And the second death is that lake of fire that's going to be made out of America. Okay? But, the whole point of bringing all this out is to call upon the Lord. All right? Because the Lord is how we're going to get through this, how we're going to endure into the end. All right? As it reads in St. Matthew 24 and verse 13. All right? And he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Well, that's through the Spirit and the power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. All right, not the Most High in Christ bless. All right, not JESUS. Okay, through Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, and I want to read this account in the book of Acts, the 12th chapter, dealing with, as you can read the title, Peter's arrest and deliverance. All right, but I'm short of time right now. I'm gonna have to come back with a part 2. All right, because this is a heavy account. Just showing that, even though some of us going to be cast into prison, these concentration camps by the devil, it shows that there's nothing impossible, with Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. How the Lord is going to lift up a standard, whether it be through men receiving spiritual power, all right, or the angels, of course, standing on our behalf to defend us, either way it goes, or if we have to be a martyr for this truth, the Lord is with us, man. All right, whatever which your way, all right, however which your way our lot play out through the Spirit and the power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Lord will, if the Lord, keep the Spirit on me, all right, to come back, maybe at a lunch break, all right, to come with a part 2 of this lesson, man. Call upon the Lord and he's going to deliver you from the time of trouble. Shalawam to the elect.